Welcome everyone to the August monthly musing. I hope you're having a beautiful summer if you're in the northern hemisphere and that it's gentle in the southern. Our theme of the month in August is the two anchors and the directions of Azul. And I wanted to take a moment and focus mostly on the anchors today because they are truly what supports our journey of awakening love. Right? If love is at the very center and what we are moving towards in our life, the ever expanding capacity for love, the deeper realization that we are love, the healing that is possible through love. In Azul, I feel we are on a journey in love, through love, to love. What that means for me is that I am living my life as best I can with a conscious practice of being love, of allowing love to be a part of it, an ingredient in my daily interactions, part of how I hold myself, and what I seek to bring to others in my communication, in my sharing. And through love has to do with the power of love to carry us through. We can lean into it. Okay? We know that we're moving towards more love, towards that realization of ourselves as love, but we're not there yet, right? We're in this massive transformation of the moment where there's this possibility of much more love. And we can lean into it. We don't have to wait for it. We can lean into it along the way to carry us through. Love itself has an amazing capacity to heal when we are able to bring love into a situation. We create the conditions for healing to occur. We create the conditions for the highest possible outcome to occur. So this is the through love. And the to love is this remembrance that it's where we began and where we're returning to, and that the whole universe, in a way, is supporting this journey of love, not just for us individually, but for consciousness itself. We can understand that in some ways, love is the nature of divine consciousness. It is the essence. And that part of us that is divine is the part that is connected to that. And we are learning to live more and more and more of that here, embodied on this planet. That's why I call Azul a path of embodied awakening. It's about that awakening being embodied and experienced and lived here, about love being a greater part of our experience here, so that we can come together more as a people. Love is a unifier. It is the energy of unity. And this is this transition we are making so that we can have more peace, so that we can have less fear, so that we can understand that we have everything that we need and there is an abundance of everything. There is an abundance of water. There is an abundance of energy. We do not need to hoard. Okay, so if we know that our journey is about love, we can understand that the two anchors are what support that. And those two anchors are silence and the observer. The silence is the substance in which the awakening occurs. The silence is what we tap into when we dance. Quite naturally, in a very simple way, silence is encountered once we get below the thinking mind. Then we're in the realm of silence. So sometimes we sit to quiet the mind, to connect into the present moment, to connect beneath the mind. Sometimes sitting helps us, being very still. And in the same way, we can find the silence, we can experience silence through the movement, through moving our body and dropping below the mind. The silence is the substance and the place that the information rises to us through, the more valuable information, the one that rises into our awareness instead of coming down from a thought into awareness. The silence is what allows that to happen. So cultivating silence and finding ways to kind of pause and remember silence in our day. It's like a coming home. A centering in our body, an inclusion of our body, a centering in the now moment, allowing the mind to rest, the thinking mind to rest, and to remember. Can you feel that right there, right now? Can you feel your body? Can you feel the settling, the alignment, and the silence? Beautiful. I'm going to invite you to take at least 3 moments in your day where you consciously come back, where you consciously feel your body again, slow down and pause. Feel your body. Close your eyes if that helps. Allow yourself to drop in. Feel the alignment and feel the silence. Notice the silence. 3 times a day. See how many days you can do that for. Okay? And our second anchor is the observer. This is the director of our awakening process. This is the part of us that can kind of, if we can think of silence as like underneath, like it's like dropping in and it's kind of under, The observer is the part of us that kind of rises and holds us, rises and creates this space in order for us to be present with the greater truth of who we are in that moment, right? The observer is the part that notices what's happening. So sometimes we have these moments where like we have some reactivity, some tension or some reactivity enters. And if we can cultivate the practice of calling on our observer in that moment to notice, oh, I'm something's happening. Something is reacting in me. And to inquire from that observer, okay, because that kind of, that allows us to notice, and then it creates the space to witness. And we can take a moment to kind of sink in again and tune into the body, and through the body understand what it is that's actually happening in that moment, okay? Because there's the surface that is the reactivity, and then there's what's happening underneath it that is what's causing that reactivity. And if we can make contact with what's underneath it, often the energy shifts and we're more resourced to not act on that reactivity. And as we do that kind of more and more, I mean, sometimes we act on it and then we catch ourselves. So be gentle with yourself in this. But as we practice this, as we cultivate our capacity to engage our observer and to have our observer alive and awake, right? It supports us to keep noticing what's really happening for us. And we start to feel the patterns, and we start to feel kind of the repetition of like this part inside. And as we notice, each time we notice, we create the conditions for the healing to occur. We kind of begin to soften the mortar, soften what is holding that pattern, that energetic pattern in place in us. We start to soften that. We start to bring awareness to it, and it starts to soften. And this, as we cultivate it, it serves us to keep moving through the layers and the layers and the layers of our awakening. So I invite you to work with these two practices in whatever way you can. Okay, the 3 times a day, finding a minute of silence. Cultivating our capacity to drop into that space. And also to bring the observer into your daily life, into how you move in life. And see what happens as you begin to notice at a higher level of consciousness what's happening for you. Beautiful. So, and keep dancing. Both of these can be a part of our dancing. The silence that we find when we're able to drop in fully to the body. And the observer that helps us to track and to notice and to stay connected to our movement and to what's happening for us. On the dance floor, off the dance floor. Our journey of embodied awakening. Our journey of moving towards love. In love, through love, to love. Have a beautiful day.